says, if you follow my rules, and this is what I love, this is a part of the opening of the eyes of the people. If you follow my rules, I will bless you by default. So Kevin, what does that mean? Oh, you have a throw, I can read it now. I don't have to sow seed for the blessing. I know I can get no praise there. You know why I can get no praise? Because you have been taught that for God to move for you, you got to sow a seed. Show that to me what I just read. Did you read it? Let me read that again. Maybe I see it wrong. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt sow a seed unto the... You didn't read that. You didn't read that. I can beat it down for every time. Because I see too many restricted believers believing in the money that they believe they paid God, and God got to circumvent all of that, and he's going to do it because they gave him money. Get that garbage from you. It'll never work. So he said here, he says, if you do exactly what I say to you, and I'm living it, you will be blessed by default. You don't have the somersault, high five, tell your neighbor nothing. Do that right there. No catches, no nothing. He says, not only will I bless you, the blessings will go ahead of you. And your children who may not be serving me, when they get in problems, I got to come represent them because of you. Can a seed do that? Anyway, so let's drop down, because all the way down to verse 13, he's speaking about just blessings, 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 all because we obey. And he used the word hearken. And that word hearken, I love that word. It means to not only listen, it also means to listen, but to do what you heard. So in verse 14, this is a prerequisite before we go to verse 15, where the curses are going to come. So in verse 14, listen what he says, and thou shalt not go aside from any of the words which I command thee this day. Don't go to the right hand, don't go to the left. Now, watch specifically what he's going to say. To go after other what? And to do what with them? Okay, good. Now I know what you're saying here. Now, Kevin, one thing that's been is we don't serve no other gods. Because you think it's some big belly statue or some idol, something. No, you may not do that version of it. You may not do that. But I can bring this baby home. When your mom had you up and flow, take the time. We think he was doing. We think he was doing. Excuse me, when you was putting salt in the four corners of the place, when she tell you to go to the four corners of the house and dig up dirt and mix it in water and drink it, go to four-way crossing, go down by the beach and get a gallon of water, mix it with this and put it. What did she doing? So show me when the man came to him blind, Jesus, fix my blindness. Okay, now you got your salt. Show me where your salt is. Maybe I'd be a seed. So what I'm saying to you, you become so accustomed to culture and tradition that you don't know how to decipher what is of God and what is not. Now you're confused why the word of God is not working for you when the rules say. Because of your tradition, the word of God will never work for you, Christian, apostle, preacher, teacher, evangelist, bishop. So the rules are there. No one should be shocked as to why it's not happening to me. See, you're mad because you got the collar. You're mad because you're His Grace, Her Grace, Bishop. You're mad because your gown should give you the respect. But I didn't read that. Neither did you. So listen what he says now. In verse 15 he says, but it shall come to pass if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command you to say, that all these curses shall come upon thee and do what? You don't want to overtake me again, to go ahead, to reach ahead. So he says, the curses are going to come on you, Kevin, all over you, and then they're going to run up here waiting on KJ. Come, when they reach. Waiting on them. He didn't end there. Let's go to Exodus chapter 20. Exodus chapter 20. And we're going to read from verse 1 to verse 5. Because now you're going to see, we're going to take it from the heels of Deuteronomy we would have just read, and you're going to make more sense out of it now. So Exodus chapter 20, beginning at verse 1, he says, and God spoke all these words, saying, I am the Lord thy God, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. Listen, verse 3. Thou shalt have no what? This is the second time you see it, right? Thou shalt have no other gods, because I'm trying to show you how the things, a lot of things that your ancestors did, your grandmother tell you to do. You remember this one? Like whenever you had the hiccup, they used to take them. Now, I've been to medical school, but make me understand how this brown people, make me, what kind of magic is going on here? Because I can't. And nobody never knew that came from the altar, demonic altar. Nobody never knew that. Nobody never knew that they were evil practitioners that gave such counsel to do these things, to have the spirit remove this discomfort from the child. Nobody knew the black string around the arm was all bare. Nobody knew this. And they're shocked when you tell them this was serving other gods. But watch what he's saying here now. This is why I tell you, when you do those things, you're introducing the generational curse. You're tying the child down before they got a chance. Can I go deeper? When did Jesus advise anyone to bury their navel's string? And listen with culture. Listen with culture. Nobody ever questioned that. But nobody knew that the minute you did that, you did a ritual that tied the destiny of that child. Many of your children's destiny is tied in the backyard under the big green tree where you buried the navel string. And you shocked the boy get gunned down. You shocked the boy got 700 children with 700 different women. You shocked that the boy cussed you out and have no respect for you. But you sold him ignorantly to the devil. Now, it didn't end there. Apostle, they gunned him down, but it didn't matter because he had children before he died who would live the same cycle. I'm jumping around now. When Sister Rochelle was prophesying, he was flipping. I couldn't keep it out. When she prophesied, I always thought you worked for the circus, you're flipping all over the place. So the children didn't have a chance. Didn't have a chance. The prayer warriors, Mama, Grammy, and everybody praying for them. But it couldn't do that because there was covenants involved. There were spiritual agreements that they made with devils for whatever reason. And it tied the destiny of the child. So in verse 3 of Exodus 20 it says, he's warning them again, thou shalt have no other gods before me. That's what he says in verse 4, thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image, or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. Now, he's about to say in verse 5, the consequences if you decide to go against the instructions in verse 4 and in verse 2. So in verse 5 of Exodus 20 says, thou shalt not bow down thyself to them. What is them? These are the gods. Nor serve them, for I, the Lord, what? I'm a jealous God. And what are you going to do, Mr. God? He says, I will visit. Watch this now. I will visit, stop right there, iniquity. What is iniquity? Iniquity is the abuse or presumptuous sin. To sin means I violate the law of God. I told a lie. Iniquity means I keep doing it and don't care. So he's saying you're serving other gods, your own bell that you use for everything.